Welcome to 365 English. Listen to stories easily. We help you learn English happily through various stories. The speed is slow and the pronunciation is clear. The more you listen, the more you will enjoy it. If you like it, please like it, leave a message to chat, and don't forget to subscribe. From ancient times to the present, human beings have always been unable to avoid a question: how to make money and how to live a better life. But the answer to this question is different in every era. In ancient China, making money is not just a matter of skills, but also a matter of attitude. People say diligence can make up for clumsiness, and living within one's means. This means that as long as you are willing to work hard, even if you start from a low point, you can slowly accumulate your own living foundation. Even if your income is not high, you must know how to be moderate in order to retain your wealth. In that era, financial management was not a book or a course, but a wisdom integrated into the daily life of firewood, rice, oil, and salt. The ancients understood that in a stormy era, if you have a little surplus food in your hands, you will not panic. Saving money is not stingy, but an investment in security. At the same time, in the distant European continent, the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century was quietly changing everything. After the steam engine, textile machine, and railway were laid out, opportunities for capital and business emerged like a spring tide. Those workers who originally rushed for a meal began to dream of owning their own small factories, small shops, and even shares. This was the initial awakening of investment awareness. People realized that in addition to labor, money can also work. The initial spark of capitalism was ignited little by little in this era. Making money is no longer just about hard labor, but about choosing the right track and timing. Entering the 20th century, Benjamin Graham, the father of value investment, recognized by later generations, proposed a new thinking framework. He told people, the market is emotional, but value can be judged. His student Warren Buffett spent decades proving the correctness of this view. He invested not in hot stocks, but in companies with long-term value. This investment method echoes the rational attitude of the ancients of living within one's means, but with a modern actuarial perspective. Graham's value investment is not only a breakthrough in the financial field, it also redefines the way of building wealth. Making money is no longer just about active labor, but also has a new channel for passive income, asset appreciation. In 2008, the world once again encountered major challenges. Lehman Brothers collapsed, the subprime mortgage crisis broke out, and global stock markets plummeted. The wealth of many families evaporated overnight. It was also in this year that the world began to realize that most people did not understand investment at all and had no ability to plan wealth. A global financial crisis, like a wake-up call, sounded the public's financial awakening. Schools, families, and governments began to pay attention to financial education, hoping that the next generation would not repeat the same mistakes. At the same time, psychology has also made new discoveries. The term growth mindset began to appear frequently in education and life planning. It emphasizes that people's abilities can be cultivated and time investment can bring huge returns. The investment in life is not just money, but also attention, perseverance, and time. This is an important turning point. People began to reflect not only on how to make money, but also on how to grow. Money has become a tool for self-growth and freedom, not an end point. China has also taken a unique path in this wave of changes. In the 1990s, with the deepening of reform and opening up, individual economy began to emerge in the streets and alleys. A cart, a sewing machine, a pancake oven may all be the starting capital of a family. Chinese youths of that era set up stalls on the street and solicited customers in the community, relying on hard work to survive. Many of them have not received systematic financial education, but they have gradually accumulated preliminary financial management experience by instinct. After 2010, China entered the era of mobile internet. Taobao, Pinduoduo, Douyin, and other platforms have changed the way of making money and opened up new growth paths. More and more young people are trying to be bloggers, sell goods, and do online courses. There are more ways to make money, but there is more anxiety. As a result, more and more people are beginning to pay attention to the power of education, not only the education of children, but also the regrowth of adults. Financial management courses, workplace courses, emotional management, and skill improvement have all become new content of life investment. This trend will reach a climax in 2025. Canada has introduced a new policy requiring high school students to pass a financial literacy test before they can get a diploma. This move has attracted global attention. Not only Canada but also China has placed more emphasis on quality education and the cultivation of life skills after the double reduction policy. Various places have begun to set up growth power courses to encourage children to understand the responsibilities and planning behind money. Behind these policies, there is actually a consensus. In this uncertain world, the sooner you establish wealth thinking and growth awareness, the more you can maintain balance in the changes. From making a living to growing up, this cognitive migration has also happened to countless individuals, just like a young man in the 1980s who came from the countryside to the city and started by selling socks at a stall. Every day he was exposed to the wind and sun, and his income was meager, but he saved money and signed himself up for a night school course. Others played cards after get off work, but he learned computers and English. A few years later, he switched to translation and later opened a small company. When he was 40 years old, he invested in his children, education, and his own continued growth. Today, he is retired but still insists on reading 2 books a month. He said, "I never thought about becoming rich, I just wanted to be smarter than yesterday." This story has no ups and downs of miracle, but only changes step by step. It tells us that the investment in making money and living is never divided by age or starting point. As long as you are willing to start, you have won half of the battle. Those seemingly ordinary choices are often the turning point of fate. Today, we watch short videos and listen to podcasts, which seems very modern, but behind it is still the resonance of human pursuit of better life for thousands of years. You may be wondering where to start. In fact, from the moment you take your time, skills, and choices seriously, your thinking has begun to upgrade. Your path to wealth and growth may be hidden in a stall, a self-study, or a late-night reflection. Part II, Evolution of the New Era Redefining Making Money and Growth. As we enter 2025, the definition of making money and growth has long gone far beyond the scope of stable work and saving more money. The new era background, new technological forms, and new social needs are quietly driving an unprecedented revolution in thinking upgrade. In the past, when we talked about making money, we talked more about making a living, which was to support our families and make a living. Now, making money has been given a deeper meaning. It is a way of self-expression, the freedom of life choices, and an investment in the future. This transformation is not achieved overnight. It is the inevitable result of the collision between technological progress and social concepts. First of all, the internet and digitalization have completely changed the shape of opportunities. In the past, starting a business was an expensive and complicated thing, requiring a store, inventory, and startup capital. Now, one person, a mobile phone, and an idea can ignite a new income channel. Short video creators win traffic through content, and then realize it through bringing goods, advertising, and rewards. Programmers write code late at night to develop a small tool and obtain long-term income through subscriptions. People who are good at foreign languages earn overseas income through distance learning. Making money is no longer just a mode of going to work, it has evolved into an ecosystem of multiple coexistence. In this ecosystem, what really matters is not how high your education level is, but whether you can adapt to changes, whether you can continue to learn, output, and grow. Therefore, growth began to be inseparable from making money. People realized that if they could not continue to upgrade their skills and cognition, no matter how many opportunities they had, they would only be fleeting. Growth is no longer exclusive to youth, but a core ability of a person's life. At the same time, a deeper question has also surfaced: who are we making money for? In the past, many people worked hard to meet the standards of success in the eyes of others: houses, cars, money, and social status. Now, more and more people are beginning to pay attention to inner drive. I make money to live the way I like. This change in values has also led to the rise of life investment. No longer blindly working hard, no longer blindly consuming, no longer suppressing their own needs, but starting to pay attention to physical and mental health, family relationships, emotional management, and time quality. For example, many people have begun to regard fitness, meditation, and psychological counseling as a necessary expense. Some people have replaced the annual shopping budget with the annual learning budget. More people have begun to re-examine career happiness instead of blindly pursuing high-paying jobs. From material rewards to spiritual freedom, this is a new growth path, and life investment is the navigator on this road. More importantly, social media and information transparency have greatly accelerated the flow and comparison of cognition. An ordinary person can see another person teaching in Africa, taking care of the elderly in Northern Europe, and digital nomadism in Southeast Asia in 30 seconds. The possibility that took 10 years to realize in the past now only takes 3 minutes. This speed of cognitive upgrading directly affects people's attitude towards making money. I no longer just want to be better than yesterday, but want to live a unique and free life. To achieve such a goal, saving money and saving alone is obviously not enough. What you need is asset-based thinking. The so-called asset-based thinking is to no longer regard money as a consumer product, but as a seed. Where you plant it today determines what kind of forest will grow in the future. Some people invest it in consumer goods, which makes them happy for a while but leaves nothing behind. Some people invest it in knowledge, health, connections, and platforms. Although there is no result in the short term, in the long run, it becomes a compound interest snowball. This cognitive mode of delayed gratification plus long-termism is gradually becoming the underlying logic of the new generation of young people. In 2025, you will find that more and more friends around you are beginning to study funds, REITs, digital assets, personal brand building, and IP operations. This is not a trend, but an upgrade of survival. At the same time, the social structure is also changing. The employment model of enterprises is more flexible, and the number of project-based, remote cooperation and freelancers is increasing year by year. Stability is no longer an iron rice bowl, but a manifestation of self-growth and adaptability. In other words, you used to make a living by a job. Now, you support yourself by growth. Education is also changing. Whether it is the new curriculum standards under the domestic double reduction policy, or the introduction of policies such as the introduction of financial literacy tests for high school graduates in Canada, they are essentially emphasizing the cultivation of thinking power. Real financial education does not teach you how to trade stocks or avoid taxes, but teaches you how to judge value. how to view risks, how to understand time, and how to make rational decisions. This is the era of the rational economic man and the awakening era of the lifelong grower. Each of us actually plays two roles in this upgrade, both a witness and a chooser. You can choose to continue the traditional path and follow the rules, or you can choose to break through your thinking and take a new path of your own. And every breakthrough starts with a small action. Maybe you use the time you spend watching short videos to listen to a podcast. Maybe it's your first attempt to record your daily expenses. Or maybe you decide to open your own sideline account. These small actions, like seeds, will one day grow into towering trees. We also see more and more real examples that prove that making money and growing can go hand in hand. A girl born in the 1990s who made handbook videos in addition to her full-time job became a self-media blogger with millions of fans 3 years later. A boy born in the 2000s who started teaching the basics of funds on Bilibili since college has now become a cooperative lecturer for a financial management institution. A mother of two who created her own parenting plus financial brand by sharing life and financial management skills has increased her income fivefold. What they have in common is not how strong their backgrounds are, but their willingness to use a growth mindset to treat every choice in life. And this is the true meaning of investing in life. You no longer wait for life to give you answers, but write down the questions yourself and then answer them yourself. Of course, we still have to be aware that although the times have given us tools, they have also brought pressure. Information anxiety, ability anxiety, and identity anxiety may all drag you forward. What you need to do at this time is to make a growth plan for yourself and allocate time, money, and attention like an investment portfolio. Short-term, solve the basic life such as savings, health, and work skills. Medium-term, build cognitive assets such as reading, socializing, and expression skills. Long-term, build core value assets such as personal brand, family relationships, and time freedom. Only in this way can you truly have a sense of security in this ever-changing era. The times have clearly told us the thinking of making money has changed, and the focus of life is no longer just survival, but advancement. And are you ready to become the one who holds the key to growth? We talked about the frugal life of the ancients to Graham's value investment, from the financial crisis to the short video economy, and from the story of a young man in the 1980s to the transformation of global growth education in 2025. In the end, we found that the essence of making money is not to have money, but to have the right to choose. The meaning of growth is not to become someone, but to constantly become a more complete self. Every minute you invest will quietly return to you one day. In the future, every anxiety you experience will quietly fulfill you at some point in the future. Growth and making money are not two roads, but a one-way street to freedom. As long as you are willing to walk, this road will always extend under your feet. You did a great job today. Thank you for watching 365 English. Don't forget to like, leave a message, and comment. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.